Miles, you're invited to the Select Tier Challenge. Take 3 round trips by September 10th and earn Select status. Okay. So the catch here is that every one-way segment has to be $25 or more, so I can't totally get away with something that crazy. That being said, going between Boston and Providence 3 times in a day is a little crazy. So there's our Stella. Seat 11F. So this is the only Acela I'm taking today. The ticket was exactly $25, which is perfect. Here's my hot take about the Acela. I think these cars are way worse in terms of comfort and amenities than the Amfleets in the Northeast Regional. The seats default to being just like straight up. I find that really uncomfortable. The overhead compartments are actually significantly smaller than on the Amfleet. And these tray tables are just an abomination. Ugh. They just don't make sense. And then you can't hold anything in these unless you put the tray tables up. Like as an example, here's my bottle of water. I can't put it anywhere. Like, I'm sorry, it's not good design. These cars aren't. Well, there you go. A nice cup of Auntie-Anne's to begin this arduous journey today. Here we go, 11:05 a.m. If all goes according to plan, we'll be done at like 9 p.m., something like that. So because this is the first time of 6 that we're doing this trip, this is when it'll be the most novel. So look, it's I-90 and there's some brownstones up there, or I guess brickstones. I don't know, what's the official name for them? Who knows? Now if I can get on my soapbox again, I wish that there was like a window map when you were selecting your seat, because I wouldn't usually take this seat if I was just picking at will, because you got the window just ending here, whereas the previous one gets the whole window. So like I wish you could see where the windows start and end when you're selecting. A little idea for you, Amtrak. Now's the bit when we go super duper fast. We're going 129 miles an hour. It doesn't really feel like it. I will give the Acela cars that they ride way better than the Amfleets do. Here we go. Prime Acela moment. You know, I've been on international high-speed trains, so they tell you how fast you're going on screens in the car. I feel like Acela should do that, but I guess it's going so slow most of the time that it would be just kind of disappointing. Hi, Pawtucket.
The destination is Providence. Please take the time to gather all your belongings. Be ready to exit upon arrival.
Thank you. Providence. Number 1. So our connecting train is running about 20 minutes late, assuming it doesn't lose any more time, which isn't ideal because that has the tightest connection back in Boston. The train station building is unassuming, but there's something really cool and simple about it. And then there's just the insanely overwrought Capitol building that I also love. And there's the mall, which, you know, for a downtown mall is not the worst thing it could possibly be. There's seriously this nice path that leads right across from a mall entrance, and there's no crosswalk. Well, kind of put our life in our own hands. Oh, U-turn. So, do you want to go to the GameStop specialty store, the GameStop technology and gaming store, or the GameStop electronics and entertainment store? You know, the Claire's is always right next to the Journeys, is always right next to the Spencer's. Are they like owned by the same people or something? Here's a fun fact. I have a weakness for Chinese places and malls that have a combo 1. That's the good stuff. I just went to Newbury Comics, which you can't see, and got Alina a birthday present. So this trip wasn't completely a waste. All right, the train is now 31 minutes late, which doesn't bode well given my connection to Route 128 is 40 minutes. There's actually a ton of people waiting here, which kind of makes sense. I mean, Amtrak is super fast from Providence to Boston, especially on the regional, it can get very cheap. Not if you're like me though, where you're getting business class for $25.50 to break that $25 threshold. Get ready for 5 more times of doing that. Look at that, we're boarding. We're boarding. Last call. Last call. Last call. Alright, we're in business class, just the very back. It's a long train. 11F, which really it's the worst possible seat. Also, this outlet placement is quite bizarre. It's very quiet, but they just announced the cafe car is closed, which is unfortunate because one of the perks of being in Northeast Regional business class is that you get a free refreshment. but I kind of dug my own grave here, so I guess I can't really complain.
You stupid idiot. That's literally all you do.
I will say, I usually call business class a scam because it kind of is on this train, but the legroom is more substantial than I remember from the last time I did this. You come get footrests also, and I guess the free beverage. It's still a scam for what you have to pay for it, but like, you know, for the sake of this challenge, I can't complain.
You stupid idiot. That's literally...
Also, there's no one behind me, so we can... Oh, gee, okay, it actually reclines really far back. Hi, Pawtucket. The Acela tops out at 150, while the Regional only tops out at around 125, but it's still pretty fast. It doesn't ride quite as well, but, you know, who cares? All right, we actually made great time. We are only 25 minutes late now, so I have 15 minutes to make this connection. I can like hang out. We've got an old commuter rail map. That's not, you know, that out of date. There's no green line extension. There's no green bush. Oh, there's no silver line. I like this exit to nowhere over here. It's oh, no trespassing. Well, as long as we're here, let's do an elevator review. I'll have to remember to do one in Providence when we go back. Okay. So we want to bridge crossover. It's kind of dank. I do enjoy this very textured door. These are real 3D bump outs. Very slow push to the end though. Oh no, the windows just don't line up. All right, well. If that isn't a like 5 out of 10 elevator, I don't know what is. I've never noticed before, you can actually see the Boston skyline from here. People always ask why Amtrak stops at Route 128, Back Bay, and South Station. Honestly, I've never had a problem with it. I've never really had a problem with it, partially because it's at the end of the line, so you're not really inconveniencing people by stopping more, at least not as many people. Also, the stations all serve kind of different purposes. Like South Station is sort of the financial district. Back Bay is like a secondary central business district, but it's still quite busy. And this is like your sort of park and ride station that, honestly, I quite like this station. Like, even though I'm not really pro park and ride, it's like, this is in the middle of a pretty undevelopable area besides the random stuff that's popped up over there. So like, if you're gonna have a park and ride, you might as well have it here, and it gets pretty well used. I mean, this is genuinely really nice. It's AC'd, it feels like an airport in here. I mean, the departure screen is really squished and looks kind of awful, but besides that, we're boarding, last call, yeah, we salute our veterans. 11F. You know, I thought it'd be like a funny meme to do 11F each time, but I'm quickly learning that this was not the seat to do it with. Jeez, I just realized I missed the Canton Viaduct for the 3rd time. That's like the only interesting thing on this route. I'll film it one of these trips. I have to. Here's Attleboro. Let's say hi to the Gatra buses. Are there any? No. Hi, Pawtucket. Alright, so my goal for this layover, about 1 hour and 40 minutes here, so I'm going to try to go to a bookstore, an actual bookstore, to get a birthday gift for my mom. I feel like getting the R line that's coming in 6 minutes, not because it'll be faster than walking, because it won't be, but because it'll give some modal diversity to this otherwise completely Amtrak-focused video. Well, that was a fun 90 seconds. I don't get why they call Kennedy Plaza an intermodal transit center. Like it's bus. What's the other mode? There's no other modes, it's just bus. I do think Providence is pretty underrated, especially for how close to Boston it is. There's just some really cool streetscapes and architecture. Like this building is a majestic masterpiece. This is such a cool street. This is Westminster Street. There's my bookstore. I got my mom a birthday present. So once again, this was not for naught. I've also been meaning to check out this bridge. This was built on the old right-of-way of a highway that they kind of moved to take a more direct route. And I mean, it's really nice. There's benches along the whole thing. There's just a really fantastic view of the city over here. And they've kind of set up this food garden, beer garden type thing. This is an initiative that RIPTA, the Rhode Island bus agency, has been doing. It's this new thing called the Downtown Connector, where they have a bunch of routes come together. They have these really fancy stations. and bus lanes and tactile strips. Rhode Island knows where it's at by having Victory Day, because then you have a holiday every month in the summer, and I think quite a few months in a row because they also do Patriots Day in April. That being said, this screen is really quite terrible. This is not every route that uses the corridor. I don't know why it shows every stop on the corridor, and the only one I care about is this one, which I guess is Ship Street. I think it's supposed to show, and it just disappears sometimes. Come back, please. Come on, there we go. And it's supposed to show commuter rail departures, I think, but it just doesn't. It's not in order of route number or departure time. I don't really know what it's in order of. I also have no idea if this is real time or not. It's apparently due at both the previous stops, and then it's gonna get here in 1 minute. I don't know if that's true. I guess I'll check an actual real-time app that will actually tell me when the bus is supposed to go here. Oh, it's here. Despite that saying 1 minute, so I don't know.
Connection available and BBY PM.
Thank you. Okay, our train's been called for track 2. Let's review the elevator this time. Ooh, it's very big track. These buttons are very odd. I don't know what like the white powder on the ground is, but I do think this elevator is actually a little better than the Route 128 one. It's a good 6 out of 10. Boarding. 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 Last call. Last call. Last call. This is 3 minutes early. This one's non-stop from New Haven to here.
Amtrak 152 to Boston, you must have an Amtrak ticket for this train. 152 to Boston, final call.
MNF. With the tray table still out. Isn't that fun? Oh, it's like broken. Oh. Business class. All right, friends, I'm gonna take a power nap for this trip. So we can do the cool thing where we recline and then use the seat as a cushion, and it's really nice and comfortable. Also, I forgot to say it, but hi, Pawtucket. All right, we're making our way into Back Bay. This is the longest layover. It's a little over 2 hours, but I'm trying to make a bus. And I might be able to make it depending on how early we get to Back Bay. The bus is for a secret project that's not part of this, but you'll see it soon. Ish. Thank you. Oh man. Not that much for you. This is the secret project portion of the video, so I'll see you back here in 2 hours. And we're back at Back Bay, tracks 5 and 7, which is my favorite place in Back Bay. All right, let's go to the real track now. This station does not have boarding screens. Okay, if I didn't pick the most perfect place to stand, that's incredible. 11F. And for the last time, make our way down to Providence. Originally I thought I was gonna be able to do a counter where I would count the number of free beverages I got, but the problem with doing this between Boston and Providence is that it seems like the cafe car doesn't open until after Providence. So it's more money wasting endeavors, but that's been this whole day. Hi, Pawtucket. Hey, it's a unique track. It's the commuter rail track. All right, we got a little over an hour here. My 8:31 train is running 1 minute late. My goal for this layover is to try to hit up Haven Brothers Diner. I've been wanting to do for a while. It's the longest operating diner business in the world. Not necessarily diner building, like, oh crap, there's an R line. I would love to get that. I'm taking this one stop again. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, architecturally, there's nothing special about this, but it's an important business in diner history. And it has great hours, 5 p.m. to 3 a.m., which is like what a lot of those old lunch wagons would do. Here you go, they got a photo of the original dining car on the vehicle. This place is really cool. It's like, you know, it's not original or anything, but it's capturing that spirit of what it would have been like to be in an old dining car. All right, chicken sandwich. Amazing place right there. Absolutely worth a trip if you find yourself in downtown Providence. And in terms of transit accessibility, literally right across the street from the biggest bus hub in the state. I kind of love that Providence has this whole Venice thing going on. Man, that's a great view, huh? Providence architecture. It's the emptiest the station's been all day. Boarding. Oh my god, is it actually boarding? Wait. Oh my god, it's actually boarding. Well, that's a fun way to round out this. Wow, the sign's right for once. It's the last time I sit in you, old buddy. Bye, Pawtucket. Bye. It's come full circle. The conductor on this train was the conductor on my Acela this morning, the very first one. I mean, but as far as he's concerned, I just spent the day in Providence, so it was like a relatively normal thing to do at least. Finally, an unobstructed view of the Canton Viaduct. You can't really see much, can you? Final time at Route 128. It's looking very grim at this time of night. Last time at Back Bay. Lots of people getting off. Ooh, yeah. The T increased its bus operator pay, which is amazing. So if you want to be a bus operator, I think now is one of the best times to do it. Now for the very long walk from business class to the actual station. So with any luck, I should have select status now. But one thing I did actually learn from today is that I'm really grateful that up here in the Northeast we have enough Amtrak departures on what is basically a high-speed route to do a crazy thing like this and like get 6 round trips in a day. It's stuff like that that makes the Northeast feel like one big city, having this amazing link from Boston to DC. It's not perfect, but we sure could do a lot worse. So thank you, Amtrak, for a pretty smooth day today. The other thing I learned is that if you're riding Amtrak with assigned seats, for God's sake, don't pick seat 11F. I'm editing this on August 8th, and this video isn't set to come out until August 23rd, so how's the future?